you this morning. We're going to start out talking about the Walleye Festival coming this weekend to Freeland, one of the major events of this area, and always a good time. And then after that, in studio with us this morning, Tim Beeson will be along. That's what's coming up this hour. Also, just a reminder, at 10:45 this morning on the AM side, baseball will take over because the Tigers are in Boston for Patriots Day, and the game starts at 11. So we'll have pregame at 10:45 on the AM. On the FM, 100.5. We just continue along, just in the good old-fashioned way, like nothing's changed. In the meantime, let's talk a little Walleye Festival. Going on quite some time. A couple of guests with us this morning. We'll get them to introduce themselves. Mike number one.
Right. Mike Weddock with the Freeland Walleye Festival, and also with Burt Watson Chevrolet.
Mike is doing marketing for them.
Correct. Yes. Yep.
And just to keep things on a lighter side, in a comedic vein, Mike number two.
Yeah, how you guys doing? I'm Mike Ball from the Future Comedy Show. I'm here with you guys. I'm excited for the Walleye Fest. Gonna have a great show inside the Burt Watson showroom. We got 4 comics.
That's right, you're gonna be inside the showroom.
Yeah, we're gonna change it into a comedy club. It's crazy. They take the cars out of there and they make it a little theater, and it's gonna be exciting.
Well, I always thought buying a car was a comical experience anyway.
For some people, it is.
You can use that, Mike.
I will. I'll write that down.
So let's talk about the festival itself. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Correct.
It's a festival that's always in flux because it always has something new or some changes. One of the big changes this year is where you move the carnival to.
That's correct. Out of necessity, based on our inventory at Watson's, they've had to reduce the number of rides that they've brought over there over the last couple of years. So they said, what can we do? We need more space. And so we came up with the idea. Fortunately, the general manager of the airport is one of our Lions Club guys. So he's been, James, yes, has been very helpful in orchestrating everything. So the carnival's going to be out at the airport this year. So they got a ton of space out there, lots of parking. They're going to have as many rides as they can out there, and that also frees up a lot of space.
And when does that start?
That's going to start on Thursday. Yep, I want to say it's about 10 o'clock, somewhere between 10 and noon. They're going to get going, and that's going to go till I believe it's 10 o'clock in the evening, all through the weekend.
So the festival runs through the weekend. The walleye fishing actually starts at midnight.
12:01 a.m. Saturday morning. Right? Yeah. Yes, that's the official.
The weekend is the opening.
Correct.
For fishing itself.
Yep.
And it's a festival, but it's also a fishing competition, isn't it?
It is. So yeah, the fishing contest. The water's slowly coming down, so there should be able to be people get their boats in the water in the Tittabawassee River. It's also open to the Saginaw River and to the Saginaw Bay as well.
Lots of different things going on. Let's start with Thursday. What are the duck races?
So we sell 500 rubber ducks, and so anybody can buy a ticket for them. They're all numbered. The ducks are all numbered. So we're actually doing 2 drops this year. So there's 2 different races, and we're going to drop them off the Freeland Road Bridge. And the first one that come across is the winner. And
come across what?
Come across the line. We have a line in the river that we designate. So whoever comes across the line first, that's the winner of the pot. And so.
And you're going to do it twice.
We're going to do it twice. We've had so many people want tickets after the first one sold out that we decided why not do a second one.
I want to know how you get all these ducks back.
So we've got guys in the river, planted in the river to collect all the ducks, because 500 little ducklings going down the river there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, how do you get that job? The duck collector right there? That's good.
Yeah, woke up this morning and wanted to be a duck collector.
Right.
And Mike, your comedy shows, the Future of Comedy, when is that going to happen?
That's 6:30 at Burt Watson on Friday.
Friday night. That's
yes,
a
sir.
Friday show. And how long does it last?
About 90 minutes. Tickets are $25, and then after that, the ticket gets you into the beer tent, and Family Tradition's playing after me. So pretty good value, some bang for your buck.
Do you have other comedians with you, or you do it?
Yeah, so the show is going to be 4 comics. It's going to be myself, my friend Chuck Bates, Dave Welfare, and Cameron Kay. Solid lineup from top to bottom, all killer, no filler, like we say in the business.
How long have you been at it?
About 14 years.
You're a road comedian, right? You almost have to survive. Don't
I go everywhere. I've headlined Chicago Laugh Factory, Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club in Las Vegas, San Diego Comedy Palace, and then this Future of Comedy show. We do a lot of the Midwest, all over Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin.
So how many days a year are you on the road? Would you guess?
So I got a family now, so I try to keep it to
That changes.
Yeah, it does. I try to get out on the weekend, every Friday and Saturday, pretty much all year. I'm on the never-ending tour. I just don't stop working. But I try to make it a point to spend as much time with my kids while they're
Good
young.
for you.
Yep.
That's smart, because I'll tell you what, you blink, they're 20.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
the way
truth.
it goes.
Yeah, my girl's turning 2 May 6th.
I
and
blinked twice. Both of mine are in their 50s.
Oh no! Oh no! Quit blinking.
That's right. Quit blinking. All right, so let's talk about the remainder of the weekend. First of all, there's all sorts of things going on in Freeland.
There sure is. Not only Thursday is the rubber ducky contest. For the first time, we're actually having a concert. Whiskey Six Band is going to be playing inside the beer tent. That's Thursday night. The beverage tent opens at 6, and the band's going to go on around 7:30, play till about 10:30. So I know they have a real big following around the Freeland area and also around Saginaw here. So we invite everybody to come out. This is our 40th anniversary, so we want to make this bigger than ever. We've been very blessed that we've been able to grow the business, so to speak, every year, and we're looking for an all-time record turnout. So welcome everybody out.
There's lots of live broadcasts go on from various radio stations. One that's not on here, though, is that I will be at the car show from 8 to 11 Sunday.
I apologize for that, but yes, we
Shame
welcome.
on you.
I know, I know. It's been a revolving door to keep this updated, but yeah, we welcome you out to the car show. Art.
And the parade is when?
The parade is going to be Friday night. It starts at 6, and that's going to go around Freeland out to the high school.
And one of the big things that happens at the Walleye Festival is the garage sales.
Oh my gosh.
That community sale has become so huge they have to close the schools because the buses can't get through.
That's absolutely correct. So schools are closed on Thursday and Friday, and to try and get around Freeland can be challenging. We ask for everybody's patience, but we get people from all over the state for that. So it really brings a lot of activity to the area, which we really appreciate.
Saturday, you've got something for the kids.
We
Trout
do.
pond.
So real exciting stuff, 9 a.m. at Hayes Park. There is a pond out there, and we plant rainbow trout in the pond, and there's actually a fishing contest for the kids. So come out, be there by 9, catch yourself a nice fish, and we're awarding prizes for that as well.
I know throughout the weekend you have Texas Hold'em tournaments, you have casino. Casino is located where?
So that's inside the Burt Watson showroom. So
That's in the showroom also. Huh?
Correct. Yeah. So it's magic musical chairs in the showroom. So Thursday night there's a high stakes poker tournament. It's a $300 buy-in. From there we make room for the comedy show, which is Friday, and then Saturday during the day starting at noon we have another Texas Hold'em tournament. That's a $50 buy-in.
And is there also the big tent?
Oh, yeah. So we get the largest tent north of Detroit that we can, and we need it for all the activities. Again, Thursday night, Whiskey Six, Friday night, Family Tradition. We also have a group out of Bay City called Kickin' in the Mitten. They are going to be coming in the tent while the comedy show's going on, and she's going to teach. Nicole's going to teach line dancing class as well. Yeah, and then of course Saturday night we got the Hypocrites band. They pack the tent every time they've been there, so we're really excited about having them back.
And the final weigh-in for the fishing tournament?
That is 3:00 on Sunday. We also have the car show on Sunday, which you're well aware of, and there's also a disc golf tournament. I think that starts at 8:30 Sunday morning.
Where's
That's
that?
at Hayes Park as well.
That's at Hayes Park. Car show is at McDonald Ford and Quick Lane Freeland.
Yep. And the final weigh-in is at Hayes Park as well. So busy place around Freeland for sure.
It is a busy place, and if you plan to do the various garage sales, the community sale, leave yourself plenty of time because traffic will be a bear on the side roads particularly.
Oh, there sure is. Unfortunately, that roundabout at Freeland and River Road has been a big help because we used to get traffic backed up to the stoplight in Freeland. But that's been a huge help. Yeah, we ask for people's patience and everybody have a good time and come on and stop at one of our activities. And again, we want to welcome you to our 40th anniversary. So.
And Mike, the Future of Comedy show, $25.
$25 and get tickets at my website, www.mikeballDotcom.com.
Say that again.
www.mikeballDotcom.com.
DOTCM.
So it's mikeball.com.com. Yeah, well,
only a comedian.
Well, a scuba diver took mikeball.com like when I was in high school, and he's had it ever since. So I'm like, there's no way you're going to catch me dead having a .net. You know what I mean?
So you got mikeball.com.com.
Yeah.
Funny.
Thank you.
Well, listen, guys, can't wait to be out there.
We look
Good
forward
luck
to
with
having
it,
you
Mike.
out
How
there.
many
Thank
years
you.
has this been now for the Walleye
So
Festival?
this is our 40th anniversary.
That's what I thought. It had a kind of a significant number attached to it.
Started out as a small fishing tournament, and it's grown to everything we've done.
I've just had a conversation with Ken Buck the other day about it, and the one thing I always say, the one thing I miss more than anything, was the fish fry. That fish fry was the best fish I ever ate, and that's when the Athletic Association used to do it.
Sure, yes.
And they had the big outdoor, setup, and everything was really fantastic.
Right.
It's too bad we can't find somebody to do that again.
I know. We keep looking for groups to do that. Unfortunately, the Lions Club tried it one year, and it just takes. We've only got so many staff that can help with all the different activities, and it just got to be too much for us.
And there was also a time, I think somebody said the fish was hard to get or it was expensive, or I don't remember now what it was.
Walleye isn't what it used to be. I'm guessing it's probably somewhere in the $10 to $12 a pound range, where before it was, a couple dollars a pound. So. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do, and like I said, to get all the help to be able to put on a fish
fish we ought to get the comedians to do it. It'd be a good laugh.
Oh my gosh, we'd have a really good time.
I'll start, man. I'll start breeding the walleye right away. Get the walleye down back to $2 a pound, and then
so let us know how that goes.
I'll put my apron on, dude. I'm all about it. Let's do it.
But I'll tell you what, the thing to do this year, if you've got any small children, this fishing tournament over at Hayes Park.
That'll be good.
That's going to be really good, and from what we've heard, the fish are going to be
hungry
hungry, and a lot larger than they've ever been.
We haven't been feeding them, so they're starving.
Yeah,
and Mike, we'll see you out there.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you, Art. Appreciate your time.
Take care. The Walleye Festival coming up this weekend. We will be back, and Tim Beeson will be joining us. But before we do that, let's give away. All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. In studio with me now, State Representative Tim Beeson. Finally drug him into the studios this morning, and he brought food. Tim is, for those of you that don't know, not only is he State Representative, but he owned Beeson's Market for a long, long time, and you are licensed in the meat industry. And you still do charitable work, don't you?
Yes, and today is Ducks Unlimited in Bay County, and they asked for a meat and cheese tray. So this morning, when my phone flew off the meat counter, I was sitting down there ready to take the call earlier, and the phone just drops the call. So I came right to the studio, and this is going to be fun.
Okay, there's something we are not going to talk about on here. I had a call earlier from the same guy that's called every time you're going to be on, asking a personal question about your children. Your children were off limits, and we're not going to talk about it.
Thank
We're
you.
going to talk about you, and we're going to talk about what's happening in Lansing and all that good stuff. So let's start with that. Do we have a budget?
It's funny you say that because
And
last
you're on
week,
APROPS, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm APROPS and chair of APROPS for Lara and DIFS.
Right.
And I have a budget in place, and we dropped it out of committee this last week with no amendments, and we're moving forward with our budget boot camp. And it's actually it's a real budget. I actually looked at the last 2 years, And it was pretty simple. Look at the last 2 years, not what they think they want, not what they think they want to fictitiously have. Take what they spent, take the amount of people that are there, and give them the most that they've spent in the last 2 years. That's all what we need to do. That's a great idea. And it worked out that I got my budget done, and I got it all done with less money than what was opposed, and everything's set.
So let me ask this. I mean, there are a lot of folks over the years, I've heard this over and over again, that both in the state and in Congress, we ought to have zero-based budgeting. Everybody starts from zero. Is it realistic?
I would love it. But I mean, even if you have zero-based budget and just put in the fixed numbers, like the employee costs, right, and some of the
some things are fixed, right?
But all the programs and all the different things that they fund, right, and the work projects that have money that's left over at the end, right? It would make more sense instead of going back into like rainy day funds. Use the money that's sitting in the restricted funds of the accounts of the departments. It makes common sense to utilize those before we ask for more. But I would love to have somebody to go back in and do zero-based and break it back down, because it would probably find some errors or some stuff that's been funding a certain way, and you might find some really good savings there.
One of the things that the GOP did was try to hold back money that wasn't spent from the previous. That's affected a lot of things. For example, the bridge in Bay City, the Lafayette Bridge. And I know you've attempted to restore that funding. Where are you?
So that's one of my main LDSIs, which are Legislative Directive Initiative Spending. So the nice thing is when we started that bridge project, they requested $1.6 million. And now that we actually got the real numbers, it's actually 1.995 or 1.996, almost $2 million.
Like everything else.
And that's okay, because I got that request in for this year's budget. So that will actually give the city a little bit more money, because that's their cost. They have to put in a 1.76 or a 1.85. That's when you nice to call the engineer and say, how much is the cost that you guys got to put in? So it will actually make it so that they will be able to cover the cost of that bridge. And it's one of my number one LDSIs, and we're working on it right now.
Is it going to pass?
So it should pass. It should pass. I mean, it's negotiations, right? Like there's negotiation going on. The other thing is, it's a 30-month contract. It doesn't have to be paid till the bridge is done. So that's something else. It'd be nice to have the money sitting there, but there's three budget. It was 30 months, and now it might be 33 months to complete.
Well, let's say if it sits there that long, is it your sense come next year's budget time, the Republicans might try and hold back all that money again?
No. So that was in a group so that group, there was actually $640 million sitting there, right?
646 or something
So,
like
yeah.
that.
So guess what? But there was also a lot of money that was going to a project that was a lot of money going to Michigan Engine Defense. And the problem with that is they didn't use the last 3 years of supplementals. And I'm like, no, we don't need to give them another $50 million.
They haven't used anything, yeah.
And I'm seeing it someday that might need it, but utilize the stuff that's in the back before we start really making everybody look at raising fees for your dumpster, right? Like that doesn't make sense to put or use any kind of money that when we don't use our restricted fund money first, and then people have to find another fee or another service fee that we're going to put on you as a taxpayer.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back. Tim Beeson with us, state representative, and we will return.
Gotta go.
With you, just a reminder, in 4 minutes on the AM side, we will disappear because Tiger Baseball takes over, but we will still be heard on 100.5 FM everywhere you listen. And with me in studio is Representative Tim Beeson. So, Tim, as we look at the current lay of the land in Lansing, what are the important issues you're looking at these days?
Well, this is an election year, so
you noticed.
So with that being said, I hope that we get the budget done quickly, and it seems like we're putting forward ours. The Senate's dropping some of theirs, and just getting that done and out of the way, and to see where everything falls. And then there's a little bit of different things. I am working on some bills for the DNR from double entry, and I'm also working on a couple bills for the bridge so that they don't charge you more than 5 times the amount, because we get a lot of calls from our local toll bridges. And I get it. But we just got to.
We were just talking about this off the air.
But we have to make it so that way our people in Bay County have a chance and feel like they have somebody fighting for them.
Can you, after the fact, with state law, modify whatever that contract is? Or
Well,
put
you can't modify the
limitations on it?
contract, but you can put in a state law that talks about what they can charge or what they can charge as a fee, right? Like there can be some, and I was doing it like a limit, like
You
they
can
do.
cap it.
Well, like our store or any market, they have to give you 5 times the amount. Well, if a retailer has to give you a 5 times amount, why does the local bridge authority can't charge you more than 5 times? Because if you get that late fee, because it's funny the way that bill comes through, it shows a negative amount and people think that they're not owed it, but it's your count that's actually negative, and then you get that late fee, and then you get another late fee, and before you know it, you're at $90 like I am, and I want to know why they can do that. So I'm trying to work with it and make a bill that will make it so that it's only 5 times the amount, just like the local supermarket or Sam's Club or Home Depot they have to give you back 5 times the amount.
What's your expectations in terms of coming to terms with the governor on a budget and the Democrats? Obviously, everybody's involved.
Yes, and we also, you remember, we do have finally got the 35th special election on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. We're finally going to get a senator.
Yay.
So, I mean, that's going to be nice in our area, too, because it will be another voice in Lansing that's pulling for our area, the Great Lakes Bay Area, and that's huge. And it's nice to have somebody, it doesn't matter whether it's a Democrat, Republican, we have friends and people in Lansing, and it's nice to have somebody on the other side in the Senate, they call it the upper chamber, but it's nice to have somebody there to talk to in that situation in our area.
So when do you in realistic terms, when do you expect the budget to be done? If you had to predict.
I think that
how
we'll have
long?
it done before we go home in July. When we go back into our district in July, right before the 250 big year celebration. So
What's changed from the Snyder years when he had a budget done in May? Time and time again.
So he had a set rule, a set expectation, and that's what's going to happen or else. And we don't have that anymore.
He really did enforce it, didn't he?
And he didn't care.
For whatever.
You're exactly right. He didn't care. He took politics aside. He said, give me a solution, and you'll figure out and compromise. And, people don't like to compromise as much as they used to. And they feel like it's their way. They're so right that everything you do is wrong, and they're willing to. I mean, I've seen it, and I've been there where they yell in your face and tell you, and I'm like, that doesn't really help.
How long have you been in now?
So this is going into my 6th year, and by all means, so this was supposed to be the end of my term. And
Now you have 6 more because of the
term limit, so I don't have to become a senator, and I can work in Bay County, the best county ever.
And actually, and the reality of it is, if you stay in the House as opposed to doing something else, you're already a chair of a sub-appropes, and the longer you're there, you have a chance to move up in seniority on these major committees.
So I can get on any committee because I'm the food guy in Lansing. Like they even if I don't pick the right leader, like they kind of like, hey, but I'm a team player. Like I believe in a team because that's how a good business runs, right? Like, and I've been a business owner and the boss for a lot of years, and everything falls on the boss. But you know what? You can get just as much done being the person that services the employees, services the people that work in Lansing, that you can being in leadership. So I'm excited to keep continuing and hold some of these directors accountable, because you remember stuff that was said 5 and 6 years ago that you are there long enough to hold them accountable.
Yeah. And your degree was in business management, right?
Degree in business management.
Good
And
old Saginaw. He
so
is
that's
a cardinal.
And I started at Delta and went to Western and finished up at SVSU, and it was great. And I did an internship at Delphi. It was a great. And I worked for my family business the whole time.
Your
through.
family business was around how long?
1911.
Really?
Grandpa Henry did ice with the dairy farmers, and we used to cut ice out of the Saginaw Bay right over there on Marquette Street.
So let me ask a serious question, Tim. If you had not gone into politics, in the given economy today and the cost of meats and everything else, would you still be in business?
If I wouldn't have gone in politics,
probably.
Yes, because you figure a way. A small business has to adapt, or they're going to be gone. And when I got into the small business, and when I got into politics, it was right my 20 years. I've owned my business for 20 years, and it just changed really quick over COVID, and the little guy got stuck. Like if you had a payment, like you were done. You really were done. So and the people that are still there are the people that had the means to weather the storm and maybe the later. And there's a lot of businesses that are at the retire age that just don't have somebody that wants to take it over.
You still have a business within the family.
Yep. So my Uncle Pat, I'm fully licensed as a meat retail. In fact, I was trying to. That's why I do it. I was on all weekend long trying to renew my licenses, and I kept getting a code 404. So I'm going to talk to them. I escrow beer and wine license. I'm like, it is so hard, and they tell me how easy it is. That's why I keep those licenses. So when people say, "Have you ever tried to work with Laura?" It's funny you say that.
Funny you say that.
I got every license. They told me that I'd have to contact them, or I had to get a PIN number, and I'm looking through all my emails. I can't find my PIN number. So when they say that, and you have to pay everything online, some people don't realize that it's really hard. And the older you are, even at 52, there's got to be a faster way, that we can help the people that have businesses.
Yeah, get government out of the way.
And my Uncle Pat,
government has a responsibility. Don't get me wrong, but they shouldn't inhibit it.
The minute you don't get to use a check or cash to pay for some bills because they don't want it that way, the problem is the people that have done that their entire life. My uncle has to call in my cousin that's a chemical engineer to help get his licenses every year, his liquor license, his EBT license, his SNAP license, because he doesn't understand it. And he's like, he just gives up his hands. He tries once and he's like, I can't do it, right?
He understands the licensing. He doesn't understand the electronics.
Or all, and they talk about how easy it is to do. It's not easy for somebody that doesn't even have a computer.
Yeah. All right, we'll take a quick break, come back. Tim Beeson, our guest. We'll be back.
We're proud to make...
Back with you, talking to State Representative Tim Beeson from, it's the 95th district, right? 96th district. That was one off.
Best district in the entire state.
Of course. I don't live in it, so we might argue, but that's all right.
You come there quite a bit.
No, I do. I spend a lot of time in it, so that's fine.
We appreciate that.
We just had a little conversation off air, which is always the fun part of stuff, about education. We as a state spend as much, if not more, than most states on education, and we don't see the results. Where are we going wrong?
So I do believe that we have to have more pilot programs, more teachers that are doing a great job, and get behind them.
Now, let me stop right there just for a minute. First, I agree with you, but we had a news story on this morning. We're graduating about 5,000 new teachers a year, but we're losing 8,000. Can't continue that way. Somehow we've got to figure out how to get quality teachers in the classroom.
I totally agree with you, and I think that some of the solutions, like paying the student teachers instead of them putting their own dime into the as they're getting that training, is huge, because nobody can really afford that. It's quite the struggle on the parents, or struggle on student loans while you're in that. I think that we have to do more work-based teaching, and I think that we start that a lot earlier. I don't think that we wait till kids are in college to become. I think junior high is a great idea to look at what kind of curriculum you want to go into, and get the bug early. Get the bug early, because it seems like you then have it.
Yeah, a lot of systems did that. I mean, I'm a product of New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in junior high school, I had to decide when I got to high school if I was going after an academic diploma, which was college prep, or a vocational diploma in which I'd learn trades. And I had to make that decision, and the courses were different. But I had the choice. And I don't, it seems that we got away from that for a long time.
Yeah, and the big push was college.
Exactly.
And, it's funny because you say that where you've been the exact same. I got to tell you, a lot of my relatives that didn't go to college are still in the industry and still did well. And it's a service. Like, that's the problem, is we have to have more people realizing that you got to go into the service industry, because that job will always be there. No ifs and buts about it. And that's not learned through college. You do learn some of the science and some of that, like the bacteria.
Well, you have to
but the other side is you also can learn that in the service with a curriculum that you have to get, certain certifications, right? So there's a lot of certifications that you can get, OSHA, water testing, that will end up landing you a great job, right, without having all the debt. Now, I understand that I don't want a doctor operating me that came out of, but once again, right, the same, I just hope that young people are looking at the amount of money that we're going to spend in a degree, which I knew in business management, like, there's a good chance that that's what I was doing, and some of those classes were going to be beneficial in my area. like switching it out to maybe not being a management, being a teacher, switching that out and picking the next curriculum.
Yeah, but you picked a curriculum. But you were already involved in the industry, so you picked a curriculum and matched your needs.
I started at engineering, and I finished up
okay.
and all I had to do was work for Delphi, and I realized that I couldn't be in a cubicle for 8 hours a day doing AutoCAD. Let me tell you what.
Yeah.
So that's not, you got to realize, and that's what I think that some of these young people in teaching, like these kids sitting in them seats for so long, it doesn't work for me. And there's some different things even in different schools I've been to where the kids get to move around, and there's something to be said about letting the little ones move around to where they feel comfortable. So then it's their opportunity and they feel like they're doing and being successful.
Yeah. Well, Tim, as always, it's always fun chatting with you. And I'm glad to see your smiling face, so you can do this more often.
Yeah, and
now you know where we are. It's an easy run.
It's funny you can come on the road because I've seen you do it, so maybe you can come to the meat shop and I can have you make some of this good stuff, and I'll be like, what's made in the sausage? And I'm like, well, Art made it.
That's tempting.
Thank you, and thank you for the mishap. Today was just did not go.
Oh, that's all right. It
all worked out.
Worked out great.
Yes.
Tim Beeson, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Art. You have a great day.
Tell you what's ahead coming up on Focus.
You might not have heard about the Michigan.
All right, we thank Representative Tim Beeson for being with us this morning. Going to make room for the news from CBS and the local report with Michael Perchap. Then we're going to move over to Focus this morning, and we're going to focus on the Can Council. All of that is coming up. But first, the news. I'm Art Lewis, and we'll talk to you right after that.
Broadcasting from the